morning. Good morning, everyone. And good morning. Welcome to the white coat ceremony of the St. George's University School of Medicine class of 2028. Woo. I would like to recognize the presence of the Honorable Philip A. Telesford, Minister for Health, Dr. Charles Modica, Chancellor and Mrs. Modica, Dr. Glenn Jacobs, Provost, Dr. Mark Clunes, Senior Associate Dean of Basic Sciences, Dr. Robert Grant, Senior Associate Dean of Clinical Studies, Dr. Michael Keenaghan, Assistant Dean of Students, Academic Advising, Clinical US, and our keynote speaker for today, Dr. Callum McPherson, Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. Neil Olson, Dean of the School of Veterinary Medicine, Dr. Lucy Eugene, Dean of the School of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Lucy Clunes, Dean of Students, Dr. Brendan Lagrenade, Vice Provost for Institutional Advancement, the Associate Assistant Deans, Chairs and Heads of Departments within the St. George's University School of Medicine, other faculty members, staff, specially invited guests, parents, students, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to stand here before you as a proud alumna of the St. George's University School of Medicine on such a significant day in your lives. The white coat ceremony marks the beginning of a journey that is as humbling as it is inspiring. Your white coat is not just a symbol of medical knowledge and clinical skills, but it is also a sign of compassion, integrity, and an unwavering commitment to your patients. As you move forward, please remember that every step that you take is a step towards becoming a healer, a listener, and an advocate for those in need. So congratulations, everyone, on this momentous occasion. So I would now like to share with you a brief history of this ceremony. In 1993, the Arnold P. Gold Foundation created the white coat ceremony at Columbia University's College of Physicians and Surgeons to promote humanism in medicine. With guidance from the Gold Foundation, St. George's University School of Medicine initiated its own white coat ceremony in 1996, long before many other US medical schools. In 2003, the Gold Foundation founded the Gold Humanism Honor Society, an international society dedicated to the promotion of humanism, professionalism, and ethics in medical practice and medical education. Dr. Arnold Gold passed away at the age of 92. He was an international advocate for humanism in healthcare. We are honored to have hosted Dr. Gold and his wife Sandra as keynote speakers for our 2005 Spring White Coat Ceremony. St. George University's chapter of the Gold Humanism Honor Society is based in the Department of Clinical Skills and is supported by the Dean of Medicine's office. Our chapter established the Humanitarian Student Organization in 2009, through which our basic sciences students promote humanism across the St. George's University and Grenadian societies or communities. Chapter members are nominated by their peers and inducted during their clinical training when they participate in an ongoing chapter project. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the podium Dr. Glenn Jacobs, Provost of St. George's University.
Good morning. Great morning to be here, and I would like to welcome all of you to St. George's University and the island of Grenada. A special word of welcome to all our parents, family, and friends present here today. I would also once again just like to welcome our Minister of Health, Honorable Telesford, and if you could just stand so people can recognize him. And of course, also our Chancellor and his wife, Lisa, but you will see him shortly. He'll be also making a few remarks. So, I hope you are enjoying your stay here on the island. We are very fortunate that you are visiting us during a special time here in Grenada. This year, Grenada is celebrating its 50th anniversary of independence. That's a great thing, I'm telling you. So you might have noticed all the red, green, and gold colors here on the island and the posters that's out. And we at SGU are happy to celebrate this event with the community of Grenada. Now, while you're here on the island, please experience some of the traditions, some of the local dishes. I know you're all going out and eating out, and one of the things on the menu you have to get is callaloo soup. Yep, I see most of you shaking your head. If you haven't had that, really try it. It's green, it doesn't look that great, but it actually tastes pretty well. So do that, and I always say this, but it's a nice little memento to take back if you want a memento of the island, or more so, the Caribbean. And that is, get yourself a little bottle of hot sauce. You can get it at the airport, any place, ask your student, and it's called Baron hot sauce. It's actually made in St. Lucia, but that's okay. It's still the Caribbean. And as I also say, I do not work for Baron. I work for St. George's University. So, students, I'm very happy to welcome you in person here today. Now, I will not be addressing you that often. The next time I probably speak to you as a group will be during your graduation. Now, you'll be amazed how quickly that will be. Today is a very special day. You will be getting your white coat. Others here today will speak to the meaning of the white coat. Now, during your time here in Grenada, you are going to have great experiences. But as life is, you are also going to run into challenges, have to run into challenges, and some difficulties. And when you do, I want you to remember this quote. I kind of looked at different quotes, and this one kept on coming out in very different ways, abbreviated ways, and it's actually a famous quote that's been said quite a bit. It's a quote by Sir Winston Churchill, and he said it in a speech at his alma mater school in 1941. And it's pretty easy to remember. You can just remember the first few words. Never give in. Never, 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 in nothing great or small, large or petty, never give in, except to convictions of honor and good sense. Something you can take with you and remember. I will encourage you to take time to explore Grenada, get to know this great community. I'm looking forward to interacting with you during your time here at SGU. When you see me on campus, stop me and say, hey, you remember me? I was sitting in front of you, and just say hello. Enjoy this special day. Congratulations, you deserve it. And never, never give up. It's now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Mark Kloons, Senior Associate Dean, Basic Sciences. Thank you.
A very good morning to you all. Again, I've met you a couple of times before, so it's wonderful to see you looking so put together this morning for your white coat ceremony. A great good morning to my colleagues from the School of Medicine, the faculty, the administrators, the deans of the School of Medicine, our special guests, Dr. Modica, Dr. Telsford, and of course Lisa Modica for being here this morning. Also, you, our students, welcome to this morning's white coat ceremony, and your families and supporters in the back here. Now, the mission of St. George's University School of Medicine, obviously you've started now, and you realize it's to equip you with the skills for a life of physician practice. And today is a symbolic gesture. It's a commitment to the integrity and professionalism of your future careers. And really, it's a promise to yourself, above all else. It's a promise to, of course, your peers, your community, St. George's University, as your trainers. But really, it's a promise to yourself to apply yourself and commit yourself to this journey. Now, many people here obviously have contributed to your pathway this morning, so please if your supporters are here today, make sure to take some time today and be mindful and gratitude for your supporters being here. Take some time to spend with them, because these are memories that will last a lifetime. Dick Olds, our past president, used to always say, at the end of this ceremony, after donning the white coat and reciting your oath, you'll be no more equipped for this journey than you were this morning. It's a start of a long journey. And I agree with that for the most part. But there's one element that I think can start today, can start last week. You've already started it in class. And that's your professional identity and your commitment to that professional identity. Your attitudes, your behaviors. The wonderful thing, and you heard me say this in orientation, in Stoic philosophy, you're never going to be able to control the external world. The external world has a habit of imposing itself on you. But what you are able to control 100% is your reaction to the external world. Between every action and reaction, there's time to pause, to stop, and decide what your reaction is going to be. So I want to leave you with those words of Stoic philosophy. Put that into practice. That can start today. Yes, it will take 4 years till graduation, but you'll be developing the wonderful competencies of your profession along the way. And some of the most important ones are those interpersonal skills to establish rapport with your patient, to put them at ease, to build trust. They will not know your step 2 score, but they will know how you treat them with dignity, respect, and a collaborative nature in their care. So my very best for this journey. I'll see you in class later in term, and I just want to introduce our Senior Associate Dean from the Clinical Studies, Dr. Robert Grant, and he'll say a few words for you this morning as well. Thank you.
I'm delighted to be here as well, and I also would like to acknowledge that just as the practice of medicine is a team sport, so too is the education of this phenomenal group of medical students in front of us. So first order of business for me is to acknowledge our Minister of Health, our Chancellor, our Provost, my colleague as a Senior Associate Dean, the faculty, the staff, the parents, friends, and of course the students. As a community, it is critically important that all of us come together to support each and every student towards their successful journey towards practice as a physician. I spent a fair amount of time at Columbia University, and I was thrilled during that time to have the opportunity to meet Dr. Gold. Dr. Gold was a pediatrician. There was no truth to the rumor he became a pediatrician because he was about 5 feet tall. However, he took advantage of his diminutive size to be able to teach that the best way to connect with a patient is to get on their level and look them in the eye. It was a little bit harder for those of us who I would say are just under 6 feet in order to do that. But that continues the tradition that's been passed down from doctor to doctor, and we begin that tradition today with our students. Our dean, Marius Lukos, is busy traveling on behalf of the school and asked me to relay the one bit of advice he likes to give to the students at these white coat ceremonies. That bit of advice, students, stay in touch with your parents. Let them know how you're doing. They love you. Your family supports you. With all of the technology that we have available today, be sure that you send them a text or a WhatsApp or a Instagram, a post, anything to let them know that you're doing well and that you're thriving. Similarly, if you're facing the challenges which all doctors face over the course of the career, reach out to them as well. No one knows you better. No one will support you more. Take advantage of the fact that this is a resource for you that will be there for you no matter how much the school puts into your progress. There will always be your #1 fans. The white coat that you received today, as you heard, is more than just a piece of clothing. It's a symbol of trust, responsibility, and service. It represents the values and ideals that you have chosen to uphold as future doctors. These are compassion, altruism, duty, honor, respect, and integrity. Remember, While you can remove the white coat, from now on, you will never be able to relinquish your obligations to your patients and their care. You will become privy to people's deepest and darkest secrets and their fears, but you will have an opportunity to make a difference in their lives as no other fellow human being can. We all know that you have worked hard to get to this point. You have demonstrated your academic excellence, your personal growth, and your professional potential. You have earned this right to wear the white coat and join us, the ranks of those who have dedicated their lives to the noble cause of healing. But know that this is not, of course, the end of your journey. It's just the beginning. The white coat is not a badge of honor that grants you any sort of authority or prestige. It is simply a reminder of your commitment to serve humanity with humility and with the excellence every day. Be reassured that St. George's continues to do all it can to support you academically and personally, constantly adding resources and updating our curriculum to assist you as you take on the challenges involved with standardized testing, licensure, and eventual placement into residency training and a career as a practicing physician. My chief role at SGU is to visit our students who are doing clinical rotations at our 77+ sites across the US, UK, and Grenada. I can tell you there is nothing more exciting than to me to sit with our cohorts of students at each of these sites and see the transformation from neophyte physician into someone who's ready to take on the challenges of residency training. So as you celebrate this milestone with family and friends, I leave you with one bit of advice. Be yourself. Don't lose sight of who you are, your special talents, why you chose this path, and what makes each of you unique. Do not let this white coat define you or confine you. Let it empower you and inspire you to be not only the best doctor you can be, but always to be the best person that you can be. All of us here are so very proud of each and every one of you. We are all truly excited for the journey and the steps that lie ahead. Looking out at you now, I realize that the future of medicine will be in very, very good hands. And as someone who has reached this point in my life, will probably need a good doctor in times, I'm happy to see that we've got some good candidates here that can take care of me. Please know that not only do I, but all of us here at St. George's wish you continued personal and professional success always. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce our esteemed, beloved, and charismatic Chancellor of St. George's University, Dr. Charles Modica. Dr. Modica rose from humble roots as an Italian-American from Suffolk County, Long Island, traits that we share. Different decade, but the same traits. His vision to establish a medical school has allowed so many to become doctors and has wonderfully impacted the care for deserving patients in the US, in the UK, in Grenada, and the entire world. Please join me in a well-deserved round of applause for our Chancellor, Dr. Charles Modica.
Good morning. How about great morning? Yeah. And the greatest morning, because I'll go through this routine once more. I don't get to see you much, but about 4, maybe 5, but 4 years hopefully, I'll see you up at graduation, and that'll be greatest morning. So you'll kind of remember that hopefully then. My name is Charles Modica. I'm the founding Chancellor of St. George's University, and if you don't know what that means, you got to go back towards George Washington days, and I was the founder of one of the founders of the university in 1976. So we're coming up on 50th anniversary. I have things in common. Yeah, wow. I didn't age that well, but hey, I'm still around. I have something in common with all of you, though, and I wanted to take a few moments to talk about that with you. I applied to medical school in the late 60s and started school in 70 when I graduated college. And like many other Americans at the time, I had my proud mom, who I told I wanted to be a doctor to in high school. Kind of like that, you just say that one day because 2 weeks later you wanted to be a pilot, but she caught on to the doctor thing, you know, Italian-American immigrant from Italy and all that sort of thing, and the first to go to college. She had a lot of hope for that. Probably was a mistake at the time, looking back at it, and so I went to college. I was pre-med, mainly because I had mentioned it in high school, you know, how that works. I did well, applied to med school. I was a baby boomer. Our generation was called the baby boomers. We were all born within a couple of years of the end of World War II. What that means is you had a lot of competition for everything. That's what that meant. And we had about 45,000 applications to U.S. medical schools that year, and about less than 15,000 seats. So you had about 30,000, or 2/3, that didn't get in. Now, maybe some of us shouldn't have gone, but many were qualified. It hasn't really changed in that way. And I went to Spain. That's where I could get in. And I studied medicine for a year. I did well. I passed everything. Over there, they didn't have an MCAT. They have what they call the selectivo year. And that means if you can make it through 1 year, you're okay. And if you don't, good luck. So I made it through selectivo. My mom had tears of joy that summer when she saw my transcript come by snail mail. There was no other thing than snail mail in those days, as you know. And then I had a little announcement to make to her. And she took it pretty well. I told her that I thought about it. I did well, but medicine wasn't for me. She took it pretty well. She cried only for about 2 weeks, I think, straight. And I mean it literally. I'm not kidding. Went to Mass every day that morning, praying that I would change my mind. It didn't work out. I ended up, I had to come up with something else because she sent my grandfather out from Brooklyn to meet with me. And very emotionally talked about how he came off of a boat and went from here to here. And my dad, who was a very successful builder, went from here to here. And I was here now, and I was getting ready to go to here, and I was going all the way back down to there. And he did it just like that. And so I agreed. He said, you know, you really have to go back. I said, I just can't do it. And he said, all right. So I finally won. And he said, so you'll be a lawyer. I hadn't thought of that, I can guarantee you. And I would have agreed to anything. So I said, oh, whatever, okay. And he called my uncle, who happened to be a Supreme Court judge, to make sure that I was going to get right into law school. I did. And I mention this to you because I was an okay student, went to med school, passed everything, in Spain, in Spanish, by the way. And I need you to know what the respect I have for you. I flew in yesterday, flying out today. I'm here because of that respect. And I can tell you that after 1 year of medical school in Spain, where I passed everything in a foreign language, I went to law school, not really keen on the idea, but what the heck, let's try it. And out of 300 students, I was #1 in my freshman class, okay? I don't say that to pat myself on the back, but to let you know what you're going to go through here. And God bless you for it. You care about other human beings. You're a breath of fresh air in this crazy world. And trust me, it's a crazy world. You know that. But you care about other people. You're dedicating your lives to something. And it's really tough. Studying medicine is tough. The good news is our admissions people say you can do it. That's why you're here today. And just about all of you will be successful and graduate. And God bless you for it. And I got to tell you that it's kind of a special day in my life today, because one of the people I went to medical school with in Spain, who made his mom prouder because he graduated, med school. A good, close personal friend of mine who found out what happened to me after I didn't come back to Spain years later, because he was teaching medical students at Methodist Hospital that were doing their rotations because of this crazy new school in the Caribbean that had rotations in the United States, and so only half the time was outside the country because of some idea that the founder had, you know, this guy. And I'll never forget the phone call. He calls up the office. He said, I saw your photograph on the front of the American Medical Association newspaper. They have a newspaper as well as their monthly. And it wasn't, you know, like Charlie Modica, this great, smart guy. It was like this Caribbean medical school. But our students did well. They took the national boards for the first time, that charter class, and I knew they would do well. I told them that you're studying in English. We have U.S. textbooks, faculty. I believe you'll double the pass rate on the boards. They more than doubled. We had the second highest pass rate in the world the first time our students took the national boards. And the reason I say that is there's a certain trait that you have with that charter class and the classes that followed. And my classmate from Spain on the phone said, I can't believe that's you. I've been teaching your students. I wondered what happened to you. And I knew you didn't come back. I said, you know, I went to law school. I had this crazy idea. I wrote a book on how to get into foreign schools. A lot of our friends in our school had a difficult time and paid a lot of agency fees to go to Spain. This particular friend, David, his name is, and I were the only ones that didn't pay the agency fee. So I went off and wrote a little handbook on how to get into foreign schools. I went to colleges on weekends while I was studying law. Somehow I had time to do it all and still be number one in my class. That's how easy law school is after med school. Trust me. And fast forward, that man that on the phone in the early 80s ended up asking if his wife-to-be, who was a nurse at Methodist, we met and married, could come to medical school in Grenada. Wow, you know, make my day. She's a graduate now. She graduated in 80. Deborah, when did you graduate? 85, I think, right? Where is she? She doesn't like to be. She's stand up for 1 second. Come on, say hello to everybody. That's David's wife. And so, sorry to take up your time, but you know, it's part of part of my life. So she graduated. She was here in the intervention. Remember when Ronald Reagan and I had kind of clasped hands and all that stuff? And that was a crazy time, trust me. She graduated in that class. She was here during the intervention, went up to New York. We relocated them, and they finished their semester there. And they had 3 children, 3 boys. One's a vet school graduate from St. George University. One's a medical school graduate. Did pretty well, David, right? And David's here today with his son, David. Where is David now? That I'm talking about. You stand up for a second. Come on. And David, that's the guy I met 54 years ago in Spain and did his mom proud. He graduated. So that's how I came to start the school. There's a lot of other stories about it, and we're actually almost a decade into the book that's finally going to come out, hopefully in about 6 months about it. So when you have leisure time over the summer or whatever, you probably want to read it. You won't believe how this place started. Trust me. You might say, well, which buildings were here for that charter class? Not one brick of one building was here. Trust me. Air conditioning, none, which was a good thing because electricity was only on about 1/3 of the time. And water was maybe 1 out of every 2 days if we were lucky. And the reason I bring that up is not because we want to pat them all on the back, but to let you know that it's a little easier now, but you still have to have the same dedication and resolve and resilience to do what you're about to do. And that's why I'm here. That's why I flew down yesterday and leave today, to let you know how proud I am of you. what you're about to do. To help your fellow man, to help prolong life, alleviate pain and suffering, all that kind of stuff, you know, that's your gig. Yeah. And how difficult it is. Trust me, I know. And how much respect I have for all of you. God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Monica, for those inspiring words for our medical students today. And so it's now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Mike Keenaghan, who is an esteemed and respected colleague of mine here at St. George's University. So Dr. Keenaghan is a distinguished alumna of St. George's University, and he brings 18 years of dedicated experience as a board-certified pediatrician and pediatric critical care physician. Sometimes those mix up. Currently, he serves as the Assistant Dean of Students and Director of Clinical Academic Advising at SGU, where he plays a pivotal role in nurturing the academic success and holistic well-being of our medical students. Additionally, he's a professor in the Department of Pediatrics here at SGU. Dr. Keenaghan's clinical expertise is profound, having served as a pediatric intensivist at renowned institutions such as New York City Health and Hospitals, Kings County, and Goriab Children's Hospital. His contributions to the field extend to research with numerous publications and presentations that advance pediatric critical care, adolescent bariatric medicine, and quality improvement initiatives. Throughout his career, Dr. Keenaghan has held significant leadership roles, including Associate Chief Academic Officer for Graduate Medical Education and Medical Director of the Adolescent Bariatric Program at Kings County Hospital. He has also been instrumental in developing pediatric simulation labs and critical care protocols, enhancing both medical education and patient care. In addition to his clinical and academic responsibilities, Dr. Keenaghan is deeply committed to mentorship and education. He has restructured pediatric curricula, developed wellness programs, and provided extensive career guidance to both residents and medical students, many of whom are our medical students here at St. George's University. His dedication to fostering the next generation of healthcare professionals is evident through his role as a faculty mentor, and his involvement in quality assurance and research projects. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Mike Keenaghan.
Good morning. Whoa. So I was exactly where you guys were 22 years ago. Well, maybe not exactly where you guys are. We had our white coat ceremony up the hill in Bell Lecture Hall, which is now called Alan Penzick. And back then, I really didn't know what this white coat was about, or what the white coat ceremony was really about. I didn't know what the word histology meant. And I also didn't know I would make it this far in my career to be able to come back and be able to speak with all of you today. I don't know if you guys remember when you first decided you want to go to medical school. Why? Like, what was it that you thought, oh, I'm going to be a doctor, this is why? Or if you remember what everyone was telling you, or what you read online, or what people would say as far as what not to put into a personal statement or an essay for school, or what not to say on your interview. I know I was told that I had to focus on that I really like the sciences, that I should be a real good team player, that I really want to focus on finding that difficult diagnosis, and I can't wait. And 22 years later, It turns out that the thing I wanted is I would tell people, I just want to help people, right? And it turns out that's all it is. That's what this white coat is about, is just caring for people. It's caring for your patients, caring for their families, and caring for your colleagues. So this is the part now, since this is a monumental part of your lives, that I have to tell a story. So I'd like to tell you a story about a 9-year-old girl I knew named Natasha. She was allegedly a brilliant ballerina, just purely gifted. She grew up in Russia. She was loved by her dance classes. She was loved by her schools. All her friends, they couldn't get enough of her. She was always happy, always telling jokes, just full of joy. Now, I got to meet her when she flew, about a week after she flew over to New York. And at that time, she had already had 2 failed bone marrow transplants for leukemia. And she was in New York to see some specialist that may be able to help her. And while she was waiting to see that specialist, she wound up getting really sick and went to an emergency room in the city. She was diagnosed with septic shock and really from a line catheter that she had from all her chemotherapies. And at that emergency room, they're like, well, you know, we can't do cancer therapy because you have an incurable cancer at this point. And they also weren't sure if they'd be able to admit her to their hospital because they spent their last money flying out to New York and trying to do everything for her. So they called my hospital at the time. And I was lucky enough to work at this hospital that took everybody, no matter whether they could pay, not pay, didn't matter. And they cared about this so much that it's inscribed on the wall, and it's been there for over 100 years at the hospital. So we had her transported over to us, and for about a week that she was with us, all our nurses, our nutritionists, our residents who are the training physicians, they all took time to play with her, you know, color with her. We did a lot of vines. This was before TikTok. Vine is better. It's only 7 seconds. And they would also do just reading with her because out of her family, she kind of spoke English. Now, we didn't have a lot of time with her. And we did everything we could, everything. If she was in pain at all, we'd do everything we could to try to take away her pain. When she started to have cardiac failure, we started her on pressors and tried to do everything to support her heart. And when she started to have respiratory failure, we put a breathing tube in and we put her on a ventilator. And the hard part was, you know, how do you tell a parent that their child is going to die? Or how do you tell 2 parents who only speak Russian that once we put this breathing tube in, you're probably never going to be able to talk to her again? I still don't know. And after all this, on her last day, we didn't know it was her last day, but on her last day, her parents stepped out of the hospital just briefly to run back to the place that they were staying to get a few things, but we had to emergently call them back because her heart started to rapidly decompensate. And they rushed back in, park right in front of the hospital, come in, and the rest of the day was a sad one. But it was topped off that they went back outside after everything was done to find a parking ticket for $300 sitting on their windshield. Yeah. So this white coat, it's not about you. It's about your patients. It's about caring for the families and about caring for your colleagues. Now, the hard work, that is going to be for you. Learning to move on to the next patient, that's going to be for you. Learning that you're doing this not just for yourself to cure someone and feel good, but you're doing it to cure your patients so they can move on and hopefully totally forget about you. You're going to learn anatomy, physiology, pharmacology, infectious disease, histology. I know what that is now. You're going to learn pathophysiology all over maybe roughly the next 20 months or so. And then you get to do it all over again in hospitals, in emergency rooms, in clinics, in ICUs, all at your patient's bedside. You're going to learn all different types of devices to support your patients, all different skills and procedures to help save and change their lives, so that when you do have a situation and you're going to tell a patient or a parent, we've done everything there is to do, you're not just talking about all the medical therapies. You're talking about the care that each one of you provided. That you remembered the translator phone people are horrible, and so you did your best to find someone to come and talk with you in Russian to the parents every day. Or maybe you were that resident who you're attending pulled out every single day, and you came early and left late every night to make sure that the parents knew exactly how we felt, how we cared, and what we wanted for their daughter. And that you play with the kids, or even the adults, that you blow bubbles with them, and you color with them, making sure that they have a lot of joy in every last day that they might have. That you provided the hope in what was a seamless, hopeless situation. And hope that she never really experiences the pain and the sorrow that all of us wind up feeling. And I'm making you feel today. And that she was, and also that you made sure that they were pain-free throughout this whole entire thing, and that you made sure your staff knew what it meant to make a child pain-free going through this experience. And that you paid the parking ticket so the parents think it was just taken care of, that it was just a mistake, and everything's fine. This white coat will represent your caring. Now, I wasn't intending on doing this, but I'd also like to just point out another person here who doesn't wear a white coat. But you heard from Dr. Modica today. And without him, none of us would be here today. None of us. He had crazy ideas. And I can only imagine what his dad and his dad's friends said to him when he was asking them for money to set all this up. Crazy, right? But, you know, over the last almost 50 years, I may be wrong on this number, but it's about 25,000 graduates that we've had come through here. That's 25,000 doctors. That's 25,000 doctors that would not have been here doing exactly what you're all going to do over the course of your entire careers, staying at patients' bedsides and caring. And again, while he doesn't wear a white coat, these white coats that you all have represents his caring. Because probably up to about 1 billion people have been touched by the life or the care of a St. George's graduate. And you're going to contribute to the next 1 billion. So this white coat, again, represents the caring for your patients' families, and your colleagues. It represents the sacrifices you're all going to have to make to help save lives. You're going to miss events, you're going to miss holidays, you're going to miss parties, all to hold the hand and cry with a parent of a dying child, or to restore the hope in a paralyzed refugee who had his PlayStation stolen while he was in the hospital, or to be the only one at a 16-year-old's birthday party in a hospital because he has horrible cystic fibrosis, or to be completely ignored by a 14-year-old boy who's now totally healthy and looks great, but about 2 months ago was dead in a park. And he's alive today because of the hundreds of healthcare workers who, like you, all wore white coats to care for their patients. So when you put your coat on today, I want you to think about really what does it mean today? About all the hard work that you're going to have to put in, about the studying every single waking moment, about the countless hours that you're going to spend at patients' bedsides, how much care through caring you're all going to provide through your long careers, how proud your family will be, your friends will be, and how you will be of yourself. Not only because in 44 short months you guys will all be doctors, but because of how much you care and how much your care changed lives. So, congratulations to all of you, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you very much, Dr. Keenaghan, for those inspiring words for our aspiring and hopefully caring physicians. So St. George's University School of Medicine will now present you with a white coat symbolizing your entry into the profession and your commitment to uphold the duties and trust associated with medicine and medical training. I now invite faculty from the School of Medicine to take the stage. So our quotas today include Dr. Mayana Charles, Dr. Alina Wade, Dr. Fumba Kane, Dr. Nadira Moomin, Dr. Rachel George, Dr. Alvin Billy, Dr. Elizabeth Sanster, and Dr. Prakash Ramdas. Dr. Sasha Lake, our Assistant Dean of Academic Affairs, will call each student by name and college. Those students who today have with them a physician, family member, or loved one will be quoted by those physicians. Please hold your applause until all students are quoted and keep the aisles clear for the duration of the quoting ceremony.
I will now like to call on the students from Blackwell College to be quoted. Momen Muhammad. Ryan Ragsdale. Ishtika Maharaj. Oluwakemi Adeniran. Mike Millen. Sun Choi. Simran Arora. Jennifer Solney. Danielle Williams. Michaela Saunders. Mohammed Raza Khan. Zaki Ali Khan. Tosin Aluko. Ali Al-Bakafani. Emmanuel Kashabe. Alireza Esfandieri Namini. Jarov Manukin. Aditi Anisua Gobin. Farah Katrina Can. Anthony Batra. Abigail Rodriguez. Yara Mohammed. Saeed Ali Abbas. Jack Phillips. Gregory Gozanis. Chad Baker. Braden Ferguson. Timwang Ramkelowin. Brian Katakata. Mohamed Ab Ali. Austin Taylor. Bianca Carmose. Tamika Miguel. Deanna Bailey. Giselle Barragan. Liz Mary Reel. Megan Rowe. Olowakemi Olowe. Carlisha Joseph. Julia Widmer. Richie Rora. Amrit Paul Singh. Christian Palagawachi. Maham Asfal. Nikita Masani. Karan Kawatra. Matthew Jagdeo. Syed Kibriya. Sanshuk Chung. Rachel Graham. Molinaire Messiah. Rishab Udivir. Niall Ekanaike. Jordan Romain. Oluwanifemi Adusie. Andela Hippolyte. Queen Emoji. Martha Henry. Salman Lee. Shania Jeremiah. Olamide Raji. Laulu Adioti. Vikram Bhuta Tiraju. Boating Empton. Jonathan Shaw. Ladon Shai. Grace Olagunju. Mariam Salah. Tamara Visco. Zaki Saeed. Abigail Durkin. I will now like to call on the students from Curie College to be quoted. Samara Gordon. Cheyenne Parasam. Zalika Mentis. Gabrielle Harewood. Ananta Dave. Rejoice Babatunde. Anushka Reddy. Charles Lane Ngile. Kelly Sullivan. Michael Sanaya. Shreyas Vajara. Valerie Baldeo. Medea Fatima. Gianna Scoleri. Ariana Bartholomew. Kayla Yanise Moreno. Natasha Narayanan. Fauzi Shwashwa. Mehdi Ayat. Shraddha Terracolavero. Ishani Patel. Mara Nuristani. Hannah Donha. Makulo John. Olorato Maselahai. Josiah Hassel Belboda. Jano Atarian. Ibel Jebu. Lashera Evans. Deanna Dickey. Tajay Woods. Beatrice Cantor. Sarah Sierra. Mary Rogers. Bella Marie Crasco. Princess Pereira. Zion Lim. Sandy Garcia Cordova. Gabrielle Gadsden. Tanner Hall. Ian Efanio Markin. Dina Marie Smith. Ryan Abuwes. Peño Morebudi. Ahmad Nito. Mohammed Basul. Sahib Jabul. Taha Hebetullah. Amir Tipton. Jordan Meadows. Andres Davalos. Sharon Fernando. Duchess Magazi. Faith Allison. Tryon Navaratan. Michael Orozco. Aileen Farrell. Mark Gaspich. Ashlyn Chipman. Justina Mansour. Mariam Rafat Khalaf. Maria Buri. Aya Omar. Amana Awad. Ian Murchison. Edmund Lolo. Ritvek Yadara. Ray Ashaw. I will now like to call on the students from Fleming College to be quoted. Anna Christie Javari. Michael Sakib. Sebastian Conde. Ty Lambert. Tape Kitashwang. Betcho Daman. Bame Ticket. Lily Slater. Rashi Tucker. And Kita Takar. Calvin Thomas. Rebecca Phillip. Katrina Ting. Trincy Paramanar. Sophia Correa. Allison Licks. Janaya Florenville. Jordan Land. Bernard Boyache Afram. Jagvi Patel. Catherine McManus. Nina Sabahi. Hailey Mann. Rhett Vaughn. Emma Mello. Justin Schramm. Sebastian Molina. Nicholas Carvalho. John Amin. Rihanna Thomas. John Sage. Sanjeet Singh. Ahmed Azman. Braxton Jewett. Kaman Rahimi. Dorna Actifai. Gaushani Mohan Chetty. Kate Sinead McGill. Puneet Gill. Maria Gehring. Emerald Carter. Renette McClure. Reagan Myers. Roa Baker. Zachary Cunningham. Colleen Chastu. Brianna Barbosa. Anastasia Mihailovo. Katerin Relic. Ashley Delaney. Ashley Cowley. Darius Smalls. Lakshmi Nahir. Sarah Allen. Gianna Bauman. Arvin Karchikian. Malvika Madan. Rebecca Matthew. Ratanshi Verma. Aaliyah Waldron. Leslie Tran. Danielle Gruber. Rami Mardini. Amin Kefaya. Andrea Espino Bautista. Haley Yogi. Gabriella Scarata. Stacy Ho. Michael Santropito. Samuel Tomasello. Mark Vendas. Megan Donahue. Michael Morrow. Valerie Castro. Kajal Patel. Kirti Rana. Jose Farah. Sanjay Radhakrishnan. Amira Kingra. I will now like to call on the students who would be quoted by their designees. David Burns III, quoted by his father, Dr. David Burns Jr. Alexandra Karpiak, quoted by her mother, Dr. Janet Karpiak. Virginia Hernandez Rodriguez, quoted by her mother and father, Doctors Lisbeth Rodriguez Bullock and Dr. Guillermo Hernandez Gonzalez. Francesca Ottaviano, quoted by her uncle, Dr. Paul Ottaviano. Rosemary Was, quoted by her mother, Dr. Sandaya Was, SGU class of 1992. Karam Jamal Banihani, quoted by his father, Dr. Jamal Banihani. Simran Balan, quoted by her mentor, Dr. Shamila Upadhyay. Joy Baria, quoted by her brother, Dr. Collins Baria. Kenya Alexis Mungari, quoted by her aunt, Dr. Latasha Rabset. UT Patel, quoted by her father, Dr. Vijay Patel. Regina Wosu, quoted by her father, Dr. Hilary Wosu. Yashi Tukarani, quoted by her mother, Dr. Sunali Tukarani. Yomife Adi Ongulula, quoted by her aunt, Dr. Sekinet Oyebamiji. Joshua Ashualu, quoted by his mother, Dr. Adenike Ashualu. Sami Saman, quoted by his father, Dr. Husam Al-Saman. Fadi Estero, quoted by his mother and father, Dr. Iman Nassim and Dr. Rafat Estero. Lakjit Daliwal, quoted by his father, Dr. Gudaver Daliwal, SGU class of 2004. Samara Surin, quoted by her mother and father, Dr. Elaine Tim, class of 1996, and Dr. Brian Soren, class of 2002. Elle Dusek, quoted by her stepfather, Dr. Marvin Wayne Couch II. Ria Ansai, quoted by her mother, Dr. Adita Ansai. Julius Herzlinger, quoted by his mother and father, Drs. Jean Spudik and Dr. David Herzlinger. Congratulations, everyone.
I would now like to introduce Dr. Anna Cyrus Murden. She is our Assistant Dean for Simulation and also a proud SOM alumna, and she will lead you in the professional commitment.
Good morning. Didn't you just get your white coat? You do better than that. Good morning. Good morning. Let me take a minute and take this in. Look at the beautiful white. Congratulations. So you just got your white coat, so now we're going to swear you into office. So at this time, I would like to ask the class of 2028 to stand and recite aloud with me the professional commitment listed in your program. I'd also like to invite all the physicians in the room to please stand and join us as well. So let me share something with you. This commitment was written by a student task force in 1995 and has been recited at each of the white coat ceremonies. Are you ready? Okay. So today is the beginning of my medical education and training as a physician. I acknowledge my responsibility to continue the pursuit of knowledge and understanding until that day when I will cease to be a practicing physician. I am entering training for a noble profession in which my interests must be subservient to seek my assistance. I must be ever conscious of the value of my fellow health professionals and treat them with the respect at all times. My classmates at St. George's University are now my colleagues, and I owe to them the same support and encouragement to achieve their goals as I hope to receive from them. I will work alongside my colleagues and professors with tolerance, compassion, and honesty. I acknowledge my obligation to adhere to the University Honor Code and to conduct myself with integrity and in an ethical manner at all times henceforth. I shall do all within my power to show myself as an example of all that is honorable and good throughout my medical career. It is a privilege to have been given the opportunity to become a physician. May I be ever conscious of that privilege and never abuse it. Congratulations to the class of 2028. You may be seated.
On behalf of St. George's University, I would like to thank the Arnold Gold Foundation for the Humanism in Medicine pins that are placed on each student's white coat and are being worn by the physicians in the room. Thank you, students, faculty, families, staff, administrators, and our special invited guests for your support and presence at this ceremony. So we're asking that you please remain seated and keep the aisles clear until our faculty and students have exited as directed by the ushers, and to join us for a liquid reception in the open area of Monica Hall. We'd also like to ask that everyone exit the building through the front entrances, which will help us in setting up for our next ceremony. Thank you again for joining us today, and again, congratulations to the class of 2028.